Hello, hope you are doing well. Welcome back to another speed build. So today I wanted to do a hangout spot for university students. So here we're at Ward Park in Dalsall Valley, and I thought it'd be cool to do kind of a bougie type of cafe where university students could come and study together. Also outside we put a stage area with some couches, so it'd probably be a cool place for them to hang out with friends and watch some bands on the stage. Yeah, I really like this park because it's got the waterfalls there to the left, and it's just quite a really pretty backdrop, so we end up putting a stage there and kind of building around that waterfall area. Now also this is a 20 by 20 lot, so it could also be placed in the university world because the place there, which I believe is called Pepper's Pub, is also 20 by 20. But yeah, I've started building in Starlight Boulevard. Here we've done the sushi karaoke restaurant, which I will link, and we've also done an apartment block for the Starlight Boulevard area. So yeah, I'm slowly building this neighborhood up, and I thought a cafe would be a cute thing to put here because originally it's just a park, which I find there's not really a lot for your Sims to do at a park. So I think a cafe has a bit more activities because you can eat food here. This lot type is actually a restaurant, but I see it as a cafe because in reality cafes have like kitchens and chefs and stuff, so I wanted there to be an actual menu where your Sims could order off a bunch of foods, but the lot type has to be restaurant for that. But yeah, in reality it's got a bar, kitchen, and actual kind of cafe counter outside, so it could be either 3 of the lot types. One thing I did notice though was for the traits of the lot, for restaurant you can't choose the university student hangout trait, but you can for the cafe and bar. So yeah, I can add it to this, but I still kind of see it as a university hangout. But I do have the trait of good study spot, I believe it is, where the university Sims can do their homework a lot faster, which is always good because they can take a while doing that. So yeah, here we're just doing the inside area, which has got the bar and a few table seating areas. I actually based this off a cafe that my partner took me to while I was up in Auckland, because it had a really cool interior of blues and greens. So I kind of took some inspiration from that place to do this here, and I think we end up changing that back wall there from that blue to more of a green type of brick color, just because it was a bit too over the top with those blue counters as well. Also, I've just placed in some beams here and positioning those hanging lights, which was a little tricky to do. I just had to use the move objects cheat to move them up a bit, and I think at the end of this build I have to move the lights again because they weren't in place quite still. So yeah, it's a little tricky, but I think it looks cool in the end. Moving downstairs, we place the bathroom, the chef's kitchen, and a staff room, just because it's such a small lot that I didn't want to kind of cram everything up at the top, and I wanted a decent outdoor area to kind of make the most of that waterfall at the back. But anyway, downstairs here, I believe I put 2 chef stations to begin with, but in the end we just changed that to 1 and kind of deck out the whole kitchen with fridges and whatnot, even though you don't actually need those in a restaurant, just to kind of make it look a little bit more legit. I am curious though if those chef stations, if you have 2 with 2 chefs there making meals, is it actually faster bringing out food to the Sims, or is it just the same thing as having 1? I'm not entirely sure of that. And here's just the bathroom on the other side. Sometimes I think I get stuck just doing the same kind of boring bathrooms just because I think it's a bathroom and there's nothing I really need to do for it, but really you could do a lot of different things with it, so I thought it'd be cool to do more of a stylish bougie type of bathroom down here. And I found this simmer who's called Chinook. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I downloaded one of their houses off the gallery, and they did this really cool thing in the bathroom where they upsized that portrait and then put some mirrors in it using move objects. And I just thought it looked like quite a glamorous type of mirror there, and not something I would have thought to have done usually, so I just wanted to give credit to them. So I'll link their channel down below because they also have a YouTube. But yeah, I just think that looks really cool, having those massive mirrors there, which is just that frame with two mirrors on the inside. Yeah, I also used, I think those candles along that side wall are from the Spa Day pack, as well as the tiles. A lot of things from that pack are actually quite useful. I think it's one of the packs I tend to use a lot more. And then here to the right, where I have the toddler's toilet, we also just do like a little changing room area, just because it's kind of cute. I think, was it Sims 2 and 3 there were changing tables, but yeah, we don't have it in Sims 4. They just kind of grab the nappy, change it on the spot, and then chuck it into mid-air, don't they? Something like that. Also, just on a completely different note to this build here, you might have watched a video I did a couple months ago where I made some Moschino store signs in Photoshop and made them objects for the Moschino store I had in the game, just because I thought there was no signage that came with that pack. So if you wanted to do a retail store, there was like no signs or anything cool to put in there. So I made them in a video, and I had a few people asking me if I could upload those package files for them to download, which has kind of surprised me. But I thought it was cool that some people were wanting to use that in their game. So originally I went to SimFileshare, I believe is the website that quite a lot of CC creators upload their work onto, and I applied for an account on that, and it said it might take up to a week for them to get back to you, because it's either that, or if someone who already has an account on that sends you a link, then you can kind of instantly make one. But yeah, anyway, they didn't get back to me. It'd been like 2 weeks, so I just uploaded it onto a different site. So I linked that in the description of that video, in case anyone else wanted to use those signs in their game. But yeah, thought I would mention that just in case anyone was interested in that as well. Yeah, I think mostly custom content I use is for creator sims, like clothing. I've got the eyelashes and then a couple lipsticks, but I haven't got any build and buy items apart from those signs I made. But I have seen some videos of people using like custom content windows that just kind of snap together, or kitchen objects which look really awesome, so maybe I'll try download some of those and play around with it. I don't know, I'll see. But here we're just back on the outside area. I use that kind of wire fence, which I think is usually used for the jail cells that came with Get to Work, but it looked similar to the fence that was at the actual cafe I was at. I was kind of referring to photos of that to make this, but for a lot of the items you can't really get the exact same thing in The Sims, so I was kind of trying to match it quite closely, but then also doing my own thing with it. Yeah, I quite like how it turned out. The only thing is, here we're just doing the outfits for the what's this? I think it's the waitress sim, because at the place they actually had really cool blue outfits that all matched. Like they matched the interior of the cafe as well, which I would think they wouldn't usually do at cafes and restaurants, but I don't know, it just kind of worked. It looked really cool, I thought. So here I'm just like using those blues and greens for the waiters and hosts. But yeah, this build is a bit all over the place because that's how I usually seem to go. Like I watch other speed builds on YouTube and I don't know how they do it, because they'll just stay in one place and complete the whole thing, whereas I kind of dart around everywhere in the build. I don't know, I just can't stay still in one area, so I hope that's not too annoying. But here we are just finishing off the kitchen, and then we put a staff room next to it. I find it quite fun decorating staff rooms because I put like a little area with mugs that I guess would belong to each employee, and then I think we put in like a tea maker. What do you call it? A tea brewer. And yeah, only thing I found was if you're playing this as a restaurant and you're some visits here, some of the customers seem to wander down here to the staff room and start hanging out. So you might need to put some sort of fence in front of the staff room door, or maybe just get rid of the door altogether if you don't want them doing that. This probably would work better if like your sim owns the restaurant and then the employees can come down here for a break. But nevertheless, I just like to include this kind of thing because it's kind of more realistic that if you have a cafe or restaurant, there will be a break room for the employees. Like there won't just be a kitchen and then the customer area. But yeah, I'm not sure if any restaurants would actually have break rooms as big or as nice as this, so I don't really know because I haven't worked in a restaurant before, but I did work in retail when I was attending university, and the break room was kind of just this like little corner out back where it was kind of like a sink, a little bench area, a microwave, and then this very small countertop with a stool, and you'd kind of have to like cram and sit in there. Like there was not a lot of space to move, so I don't know, I think it'd be cool to have a break area like this. And that board there was from Discover University, so it looks like it could be something where there's a timetable of who has what shifts. So yeah, I thought it was kind of cute to put in there. Also that little teapot shelving stand, I don't think I've ever used that in a build before, but it kind of looked like it suited that little drink corner here. And this poster is from Strangerville, I believe, and that one with the hazard suit, it kind of looks like it's evacuation protocol or something. I don't know, I just thought it was funny, so I put it there, as well as those little mirrors, because I imagine the employees would kind of just check how they look before they go out and serve the customers again. Yeah, and just some lockers here for the staff to put their belongings at the beginning of the day, just kind of filling in those empty spots around the place. But yeah, I can't believe that the year is almost over. This is the second to last week I'm at work, but then next week on Saturday I'm heading up to Auckland for a week and a half, so I might try to do some videos before then so they can be released while I'm away, just so there's not a big break without videos, because I've been trying really hard to upload a bit more regularly, which is always kind of difficult with a full-time job. But yeah, it'd be cool to have some videos up for the Christmas holidays. Also here, that kind of fencing along the floor, I guess, there. Only thing I found with it is when there's certain holidays and you find those lights that appear along the railing of fences, it seems to appear on those flooring barriers as well, because it sees it as a fence, and I'm not sure if that's a glitch that's just happened recently, but yeah, so if those lights appear, the Sims can't enter that area, so I think I actually removed it in my in-game build. But yeah, hopefully they fix that because it's a little bit annoying. But I think I tried to upload this to the gallery like 5 or 6 times because it seemed to be having some issues. Like I'd upload it and then it would be a double upload, and then I would delete one of the uploads, but then both would be deleted. So I don't know what was happening, but it should be up on the gallery now. I'd just say maybe put in the move objects cheat before placing it, just so everything's kind of in place properly in your game if you decide to use it. But here we're just finishing off with some decorations around the lot. I also added in a few extra items off camera, like the cafe stand outside there. I put one of those overhead tarps from the toddler pack, and also some of those blue hanging lights around the outside, just so it kind of looks kind of cool and lit up during night. But yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.